Well, I don't know. It's not looking good for tonight. Might not be able to do it.
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side.
Let me see if I can. Hold on, I'll be right back. Let me see if I can tap it.
The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go.
Married to the Road. Follow Larry and Angie Baum and their two fur babies, Gizmo and Bandit, as they trek across America, trying to make a difference in the trucking community. As the founders of Trucker Safety Info, they inform truckers about bad weather, construction, accidents, and more. Also the founders of Treat a Trucker, where they gift truckers with Walmart and food gift cards to show their appreciation to the American trucker. Follow their journey on Married to the Road on Facebook today. Please visit Rolling with the Underwoods today. Rolling with the Underwoods is a great page on Facebook featuring James Underwood and Lori Underwood as they share their lives of being a trucker and trucker's wife over the road. Please join them today and their zany sidekicks, Bobo and Princess Rhinestone. See all the trouble these two troublemakers get into while they're traveling across the United States. Please visit Rolling with the Underwoods today. Get to learn all about Lori and James and their life over the road as they share everything with you. And don't forget their adorable dogs, Thor and Lady. Join Rolling with the Underwoods.
Hello, ladies. How are you?
Hello.
Hello.
Hi,
Hey,
Kathy.
Kathy. Hey.
And we lost Lori again.
I know. Lori keeps popping in and popping out. She's got horrible service. It seems to be the theme with her.
She's our favorite tonight.
Yeah. We know Lori's always, we always don't know if we're gonna have her or not.
Thank you, Kathy, for agreeing to have this on a little later for me so I could join you.
It wasn't me, TJ. It was Angie and Lori
Everybody.
and Cliff.
But you had to agree to it, so thank you.
Yeah,
I just had to make sure it was 8 o'clock Central Time because I was like, because if it was 8 o'clock my time, I'd have been like, nah, I'm going to bed.
Yeah.
I have work tomorrow.
Right.
We got a bunch of hellos here. Hey, Divas. And Robert Gray says, hi from Meridian, Mississippi.
Hi,
Diane
Robert.
It's a good evening from Tennessee. And Charlie says, hello and hope you all are having a great time.
It just started. Just wait.
I know. We'll have to wait and see. God. So we're going to talk tonight about what we do on our home time. And I was kind of laughing when I was thinking about what we do on home time because we haven't been home in 2.5 months. I'm like, what the heck does home even look like at this point?
Has it been that long since you've been home?
Yeah, and we're gonna pop in on Monday for just a couple hours and then leave out Tuesday morning. But then after that we'll be home in like a week and a half because my daughter's getting married, and so we're gonna go home for the wedding, and all of my kids and all my grandkids are coming down, so it's gonna be a lot of fun.
When I look at you, I have a hard time picturing you with grandchildren. You don't look old enough.
12.
Oh, my Lord. You do not look old enough, Ange.
Oh, thank you.
Well, Angie, you look beautiful having 12 grandkids.
Oh, thank you.
She's the hottie, the house hottie.
Sean just said grandkids 12.
Yeah.
I know. Oh
I
God.
only have 2.
The only time it sucks is at Christmas time. It's like so expensive. I have to start purchasing Christmas stuff like in October because otherwise it'll kill us.
I would start in June, girl.
Yeah.
Knowing me, I would have to start the next day after Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really should. When I worked from home, or not from home, but when I worked in St. Louis and I didn't work on the truck, I had a closet in my guest bedroom, and I'd buy gifts throughout the year and put them in there. But now that we're never home, it's like Amazon.
Yeah, I know a lot of people that'll wait until the day after Christmas and start for next year's Christmas shopping.
Yep.
Yep.
I found it easy for my kids since they're 27, 21, and 20, which in May, two of them will be 22 and 21. I get them gift cards. It's so much easier.
Hey, kids love gift cards. It works. Sean said, my wife used to work at a bar, and she said she would have carded you. That's funny.
Hi, Mona.
Miss Mona. Hey, Miss Mona.
And Charlie said, it's being young at heart all the time that makes you look younger. That's true.
Well, why do I look so old then?
I think Terry's like the youngest out of all of us at heart. Oh my God, you crack me up all the time.
And yet I look the oldest. Look at day after tomorrow, I'll be 53.
I know.
Look 70. I look 70.
You do not.
You do not.
Especially after that woman cut all my hair off. Now I really look like a man. No boobs, big ass, and no hair.
Hey, guys like the big butt, so hey.
I like big butts. I cannot lie. That's like my anthem. I'm so grateful my husband is an ass man and not a boob man.
There you go.
So thankful.
That should be a poll on Trucker Safety Divas. Is your husband or spouse a boob man or a butt man?
We need to do that.
But.
Mine's definitely a boob man.
Yeah, so is mine.
If there wasn't butt mans in this world, I'd be single. Plain and simple. Like, I have no joke seen 12-year-olds with bigger boobs than I have. Like, no, I've seen men all the time, truckers, all the time. Bigger boobs than him. You know how drivers will say, oh, baby, can I see your hooters? I'm like, just look down. Yours are bigger, so look down.
Hey, there are truckers out here that have bigger boobs than us. That's for sure.
And they're not only the fat drivers. I've seen, built drivers that need bras. Like their nips stick up further than mine do.
I've seen it too. Oh God. So we had a pretty cool experience the other day. We were, oh gosh, I'm trying to think where we were at. California. We were in Salinas, and we just got a shower, and we were walking from the pilot to our truck, and I see this girl in a semi truck, and she was in the passenger seat. She rolls down her window, and she's like practically leaning out the window. She almost fell out the window. She's like, I know you. I'm like, me? And she's like, yes. She's like, oh my God. She goes, you're Angie. I'm like, yes. I don't know what to do in a situation like that, because I'm like, yes, who are you? And she got it being,
all you gotta do is stand in the middle of the parking lot and start dancing. Yep, it's me.
I know.
It's
me. We're getting recognized so much anymore. It's like I never know what to do. I'm like, yeah, it's me. So I went over and talked to her, and come to find out she's from Trucker Safety Info. And she's been with me for about 2 years. And she's like, oh, she goes, I can't tell you how many times, her name was Eva, and her wife was on the truck with her too. And she was saying that, I can't tell you how many times your weather's helped us out. So we were like, are you going to the fuel island? She's like, yeah. So we went back to our truck, dropped off our bags, and then we grabbed 2 Subway cards, and we went back and gifted her and her wife and got some pictures. So it was pretty cool.
Now, I would have told her, I said, if you're going to the fuel island, the weather over there is a little bit overcast, but, give her the weather.
It's good. Oh, God. Okay. We're making Mona blush, and let's see, Mike Mulder, we're making him laugh.
Yeah.
And Lori said boobs can be a PIA. I speak from experience. And Charlie says, "Are we all comparing sizes?"
No.
No.
See, the girls can get away with comparing sizes a little bit easier than the guys can.
Yeah.
They're perverse.
And Sean said,
"Are not an X kind of show."
"Yeah, yes,
You're a celebrity now, Angie.
yeah, not." That's what I think. That's why it's so awkward when people recognize Larry or I, because they're like, we're nobody. We're just truckers, and we're not used to this. And it's like we're getting recognized more and more, and we don't know how to react. It's like, what do you do?
Well, that's okay. Sean said it won't be long till you won't be able to leave the house without paparazzi and fans chasing you.
Oh my God, Sean, you're a mess.
Is
I
he
love
the
that
one that's
guy.
always telling the jokes?
Yes. Oh my God, he always is telling jokes and giving Larry one-liners. It's so funny. God. Oh, I was gonna say something that was on the tip of my tongue, and now I forgot. Dang it, Sean threw me off. Oh, I know what I was gonna say. So starting this week, Larry and I can officially announce, we posted it the other day, but we're taking over the show on TNC on Tuesday nights called Taillights. And it's a show about truckers who talk about their experiences that they've had over the road. And we're going to start interviewing our trucker friends on that show. And Terry, I want to get you scheduled for it. But it'll be every Tuesday night, TNC Radio Live. You can listen to it on their website, TNC Radio Live, or you can download their app, TNC Radio Live, and you can listen to Larry and I every Tuesday night at 6 p.m. Central. And Lori and James are going to be on with us this Tuesday. So as long as they have Wi-Fi. Crossing my fingers.
Yeah, because we lost her and she's not here.
I know. She said she was going to try and get on with the TA, so I'm like listening for her to pop in.
Where's Chris at?
I have no idea. She said she was going to be on. I don't know. So, and Dawn said, "I am the queen of jokes." Yes, she is. Dawn's got great dental jokes because she works in a dental office.
Yes, she does.
Sean's at it again.
I can't remember them, but she's got some good ones.
Yes. Sean said, "Denying that you're a celebrity," and then starts talking about how you're on TV soon. Radio, not TV. Let's see. Sharon says, "Hi, ladies. I was on vacation with my mom. Glad to be back. We had such a good time in Tombstone, Arizona." That's one place I want to go is Tombstone.
Really? You've never been there?
Dog legs.
Hi, Chris. We were just talking about you.
I bet you were. Did y'all have fun?
Yeah,
I
we're
was wondering where you were.
We just stopped and we've got some flat spots on our tires, so we're trying to deal with maintenance, and I had to help Justin just get measurements and take looks and turn the wheel and just some minor stuff. So I apologize, I'm late.
Oh, you're fine. Is it on your truck or your trailer?
The truck.
Oh no.
Yep. So yeah, I set it to default and now I can hear everybody. Yeah, I was having a hard time hearing you guys. That's why I left and came back. So I figured out that I have to have my setting on default and not on speakerphone. So the default via StreamYard. Okay, well, I didn't know that. So, by the way, Lori's backstage. She's been backstage for a little bit.
It's not showing her backstage.
Yeah. I don't want to leave and come back, but she said that she was backstage. I don't know if it was like in her message or whatever, but
yeah. Oh, she said that earlier, but she's not backstage now. She was having Wi-Fi problems. She keeps coming in and out. Yeah.
I gotcha.
And Sean Larry is laying down.
Awesome.
Let's see. So how has your week been, Chris?
Long. We had a very, very productive week. Justin and I hit 50. Not yet, but as of Monday, once we finish the load we pick up tomorrow, I think it's like 5,600 miles 5,400 miles we've driven. So,
cool.
Yeah,
Cool.
first week as a team, and we ran our little tails off. So we're both exhausted. Yep.
I I think we're getting to that point now. We've been out here for 2.5 months, and I'm starting to feel burned out. I'm like, I need a break.
Yeah, I completely understand. We go home. Weird people coming up to the truck. Sorry. We're going home the end of April. And we'll be moving. So that's going to be not the ideal home time, but I mean, home time nonetheless. You know, it's going to be crazy and chaotic, but off the truck. So I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I'm going home the week before that for my daughter's wedding. I think we're going to take off at least a week and a half.
Yeah. Yeah. See, you guys at least have the luxury to do that. If we hit 5-6 days, they're like, when are you ready to come back? Are you ready yet? Are you coming back? We're like, I roll. Like, we'll be ready, you know.
Yeah.
But we're looking forward to going home.
We figure we've been out here for 2.5 months. I don't think taking a week and a half off is too bad.
No, I think you definitely deserve it.
Yeah.
It's tough being behind the wheel. It takes a lot out of you.
It's exhausting.
It's exhausting.
Everybody's like, well, how's it so hard being a truck driver? You just sit on your ass all day. Your mind is constantly working.
Yep. Driving every vehicle around you. Every vehicle around you.
Every vehicle, every tree, every highway lane, every exit, every light, like everything, you know. Yeah. And then I don't know about you guys, but when I get to get up out of the driver's seat after a long day, I'm like, my knees, I'm old. Like, I can't stand up. My back hurts. My legs hurt. My feet are 3 times the size. Like, oh, bless. Yeah.
Mine does all that and I'm not even driving.
Oh, girl. I never had issues with swelling ever until I got on the truck. And almost every time I get out of the driver's seat from a 9.5, 10-hour day, my right side is like, I can't even put my shoe on. It's like triple the size. So
I'm so fat I couldn't tell if I
oh my gosh, stop it.
I couldn't tell the difference.
Stop it. I mean, I could use to lose about 100 pounds, but that swelling still gets to my feet, boy. Yeah. I can feel it when I bend my feet. It's just tight. Like, I feel like my skin's gonna crack.
Okay, stop right there, because I have met you in person. Where the hell is this 100 pounds coming from? Because there's no way to lose 100 pounds.
Do you want to know how much I weigh? I will put it out there for everybody. I haven't stepped on the scale yet, but I got to be around 230 pounds.
No.
Yes. Yes. When I met you, I was over 200 pounds.
And how tall are you though?
Oh, I would rather keep a secret, but I'm like 5'1.5".
Yeah, I'm 5'9", and I weigh 235.
See,
it is what it is out here, you know.
Yeah, my daughter, she's like 5'7", Cass. And I mean, I'm not going to put her out there, but she carries her weight very well as well, you know, but it's a struggle. And living on the truck, you guys know, it's just forget weight loss. It's more like weight gain.
I will tell you, I lost almost 150 pounds, and I did it while I was on the truck. I had hold on. I had the pie fast. So that does, of course, help. But what I've done to help that is every single night when I stop this truck, I speed walk like 45 minutes. I'll tell you what, and I get on the CB and I ask if anybody else wants to walk with me. And I've gotten a lot of positive feedback from other drivers. I'm like, oh, man, thank you. You got me out of my truck. You know, one time we had like 25 drivers lapping the truck stop. And any little bit like that does help. Anything you can do. Yeah.
Hey, Lori, can you hear us now?
She's frozen.
She's frozen again. And Chris has got a lot of feedback. I'm trying to get everybody fixed here. Okay.
That's okay. For me, I do a lot of night driving. Yeah. So like I'm driving till 3-4 o'clock in the morning.
Yep.
And I don't want to get out and walk in the truck at 1 o'clock when I'm by myself, and I don't know, like
I do, and it might be stupid of me, but I drive alone, so I kind of, I don't know, I don't know, I just do it.
You and who else? I think Joe is it Joanne that also walks? One of our other divas said she's lost like what 20 or 30 pounds, I think, since being on the truck. And it's Joanne, huh?
Yep.
She said she gets out and she walks. If I drove during the day, it'd be different. But we've been to
We've been trying to shut down by midnight, and I'll walk. I just try to stay in the most areas, like just lap the parking lot, I'll lap the fuel aisle, whatever, you know. But there's a few places that I said, oh, maybe I need to skip. Yeah.
right, like Atlanta.
Yeah.
Mona said you can get support socks to help and watch the salt intake.
Yes, that's one of the things I'm going to get when I get home is some compression stockings. But I want a good pair.
Yes,
I absolutely am so lucky. I have to say, I am addicted to pills, and I probably eat 16, 20 ounces of dill pickle slices every day. That's all I snack on. That's all I eat. And that is so full of salt. And I'm so blessed that I have low blood pressure and I don't have a sodium issue, because I'd be screwed if I did. I'm so thankful, because it's 0 calories in pickles. So that's what I snack on.
All right. Okay, Angie just froze up.
Yeah, she's frozen.
Sorry. I was messaging Chris. I was letting her know she had a lot of feedback. I'm trying to see if she can go out and come back in, because for whatever reason, there's a lot of feedback on her end. So I had to remove her. Okay, so Kate Beth said that I use a TENS unit on my lower legs to keep the blood flowing and going all day. I've used a TENS unit on my back to help out with back pain.
And I use it on my knees. Same reason.
I never even thought of using it on my knees. That's a good idea.
Oh, I love it. I have such severe restless leg syndrome.
Actually, I think I shoot to have them look at it in the morning.
Elizabeth said, my husband has been gone for 2 months and he will be home on Monday. He will be home for a week. I think home time is very important because it gives us time to reconnect as a family. And it also gives my husband time to relax from being on the road. Reconnecting with each other is so important. It really is.
Yeah.
I think the thing that I don't like about home time, and I don't know about you guys, but for us, what we find so hard with home time is because you don't get a lot of home time, you have to try to schedule all your appointments during that time. So like for us, it's going to be doctor's appointments, dental appointments, the dog's grooming appointments. But then on top of that, you have to resupply your truck. So you're going to have to go out and get new supplies, new groceries, all the laundry that you're going to have to do, which usually for us takes a couple of days to get all of our laundry washed. And then on top of that, you got to try to see family members in between all of that. So it's like your home time winds up becoming so busy that
go back to work.
You're exhausted by the time you get back on the truck.
I've always said driving like long term and having more time off, it seems to suit me a lot better. I would, you guys all know my husband doesn't drive. He stays at home, and I would rather be gone 2 months and take 10 days off, because the first 3 days, first of all, it's mental. You have to, it's exhausting. I got home at 2:30 today, and I'm leaving again Wednesday, probably, maybe Thursday. But like you said, you have so much to do, and they know, the people don't get that. Oh, you're home tomorrow morning. Well, let's have lunch tomorrow afternoon. And I'm like, I'm trying to wait.
Hi, Lori.
It's hard. Because like for me, same thing. On Monday, I have 2 doctor appointments. I have to bring my mom to a cancer doctor. I have to drop the dogs at the groomer. It's crazy. So to me, it seems like it would make more sense to have longer home time.
Mm-hmm. And I don't know about you guys, but home time for us, well, not, I say it for us now, but even when Justin was driving solo, home time is like vacation. It's like you wait for it, and what happened to 24 hours in a day? Like before you know it, it's midnight. It's like, what have I done?
Yeah.
And I felt like I got home at 2:30, and then I had to see my mom and help her with something, and then we had a church function. I haven't even emptied my truck yet, so
I believe it.
Get the dirty clothes out. I scrub the truck top to bottom, and that's going to take all of my day tomorrow. Just scrubbing my truck and sanitize. I just go through, that's one day gone. And then
That's what
Monday
we do
we
too.
start the appointments.
Yep.
Yes, usually the day before we get ready to head out, I will go to the truck and take all of our groceries and all of our supplies, put it on the truck, and then spend 4 or 5 hours scrubbing the truck so that it's ready for us to get ready to go out on the road. So yeah,
It's a day when you come home of emptying the truck, and it's a day before you leave of restocking the truck with
absolutely.
clothes, groceries, the dog stuff. It's so when you guys are home, for you guys that run team, I have a question.
Yeah.
For me, coming home to see my husband, and my mom, as you guys all know, lives with us, and Paul takes care of her and her cancer while I'm gone. But you go home to see your spouse. Now, I've in 35 years, I've never driven team, but my husband did ride with me for a while. So for you ladies, when you go home, do you guys take your separate space? Like, Lori, do you go see a girlfriend and James go shoot pool with the guys, or do you guys do that because you're always in that truck together?
I know. For me personally, and then Lori, I'll let you go, and then Christy, you go. For me personally, and I know it sounds stupid, as much as Larry and I are together 24/7, when I get home, you would think that I would want my own separate home time. But if we're separated and I go do something, I miss him. Even if it's just going out for a couple hours to see my daughter, I miss him. And I know it sounds so stupid, but we're so used to being together 24/7.
It doesn't sound stupid. When Paul rode with me for 2 years, that's how we are. We're like this. Everything we do together.
Same.
So that's why I was curious if I was the weird one that, you're together every minute of every day. I mean, him and I, we're both big people. We sleep in this twin bed side by side, spooning, and yet we go home to a king size bed, and we're still in this much of the bed, and the dog's 3/4 of it.
Yeah, I miss him terribly. I hate it. If I'm gone even a couple hours, I'm just like, the whole time I'm sitting here thinking, oh my gosh, I miss him.
Right. I got to hurry up and get back home.
But
Lori,
I think, ladies, sorry, whoever I just interrupted, I think it's a generational thing too. Chris, you look a lot younger than the majority of us. I don't know your age, but
hush, Ange.
Our generation, I think is more committed. Not all of us, and not all the youngins aren't either, but to our marriage. And I think the older you get, the longer you're married, the stronger you want to hold it together. So you don't want to be hurt.
Yeah. Lori, what about for you and James? When you guys I know that you guys sold your house, but before that, when you guys had home time, did you prefer being with him 24/7, or did you need some alone time?
No, I need my alone time.
Do you?
Lori.
So it depends on where our home time is. Maybe alone. So we'll do that.
Now, what do you do when you're on your alone time? Go get like a massage or mani-pedi, or hang out with your girlfriends, shopping? What do you do?
It depends on what state we're in. If we go to PA, I go out by myself. I do what I gotta do, and he does what he has to do. So it just depends. But most of the time, I need my alone time.
For me, I think we live like an hour and a half from the nearest town. And if I want to shop, but I don't want him to know how much money I'm spending on paint supplies or whatever, I make up some excuse to go. But it's like literally an hour and a half one way. So then I feel guilty, like, damn, I really miss him. But shit, you can't know how much money I'm spending.
Right.
Stay at home. But yeah, so and that's great, Lori. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. That's healthy.
Sheila, I was going to ask you, because you're a stay-at-home wife, and I know that like when Larry was on the road and he'd come home, like he'd have to have that first day where he just like had to unwind and catch up on sleep. Does that happen with your husband when he comes home? He's just going to have that first day to kind of unwind?
It would happen. The first day it would be like, hello, don't put me in airplane mode, thank you. That first day it was always just let him relax and rest. And then it was, because depending on how long he was gone, depends on how long he was home. Sometimes he was only home for 3 or 4 days, and then it was get the laundry done, get the shopping done for the truck, get the truck packed up, clean the truck if it needed to be cleaned out.
And of course, you had to do all
And
that.
then
He
he's
was
going,
resting.
well, it was it depends on if I went out with him or not.
Right.
If I went out with him, then it was both of us doing it. Otherwise, most of the time it was me doing it. But when it was just him, it was both of us doing it. But for the most part, it was like, and now today he was like doing a tune-up on the lawnmower and the weed whacker, and I'm like, any other time, if you would have tried to do this when you were driving truck over the road, and you needed something, we'd have had to go get it. You would have had to get it fixed so that you could leave.
Yeah.
Now it's like he can do it. It's not a necessity to run out and go get it right away so that he can get it fixed. So, it's kind of nice having him home every night and on the weekends. He's working 12 hours a day.
Oh, wow.
5 days a week, sometimes 6.
That's what Paul does. Yeah. He's got forced overtime at his job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
But he's still driving truck.
yeah.
He's doing like 400 and some odd
Oh,
miles
he
a
does.
day.
Okay. Yeah.
Now,
So-
Catherine, now that you're out on the road with your husband, what's your guys' routine when you guys go home? Do you need your alone time, or do you guys pretty much stick together 24/7?
We stay together. Before I came out on the road with him, my life is as boring as you can get. I stay home.
Bad thing though. That can be
Sit
a good
there
thing.
and watch TV. I play with Diesel. Now, since I've been out here on the road, we go home. The minute we get home, I either got Diesel appointment the next day or sometime during our home time. Get his grooming done, and then we go buy groceries for the house because we don't cook on the truck. We don't do any of that. But I have to be with him and everything else. If I'm not with him, I'm missing him.
Yeah.
And being alone all the time anyway at home, even though my kids were there, I'm enjoying these months with him.
Oh, yeah. We got a
Well-
comment from Mona, and I'm going to direct it to Chris, only because, Chris, you're new to being out here on the road, and you used to be a stay-at-home wife, well, girlfriend, fiance. So Mona said it gets overwhelming sometimes, and the loved ones at home don't understand why we just want to rest. Did you ever have that problem with Justin? You're just like, I want you to spend time with me, but he's tired.
It's interesting. Like, I kind of, even now, it's the same thing. When I was a stay-at-home spouse, right? I mean, he would come home and like the first day. Unfortunately, when he gets home, and it seems to be the same now, it's usually really, really late for whatever reason. It's never usually at a decent hour. It's always at like 10 o'clock at night, or like,
Yeah.
because you got to get that one last load. But usually, he's up late that first night, but the whole next day, I usually let him sleep. Oh, well. I
Don't
usually
ask.
let him sleep and kind of de-escalate, and I take over. Again, when I was home, I would do all of his laundry. I would make sure that all of his clothes and stuff were clean and folded and ready for him to put away. I pretty much did everything for him when he was driving solo, so that he could utilize as much of his home time for him to not have to do so much. It always ended up running. This one wants to see you, like you said, doctor's appointments and just whatever. I mean, there's just always something that comes up. Now when we go home, we're together all the time, and TJ, you mentioned about the generations. I agree. For us, it's different. Justin and I have a very different kind of relationship than most my age. I mean, I'm only 43, so I probably am a baby, but him and I, we mesh very, very well together, and we just have the respect and the want to share as much time together as we can. Do we spend every minute together? No. But like you, Ange, if he's gone or he, if he goes out, even to Dunkin' Donuts and back, I'm like, when is he going to be back? Is he back? Is he back? I'm like looking out the window, you know what I mean? Like a fool. I feel like a fool. But
Yeah.
I just, anything can happen at any given day. And if I ever lost him, I would be beside myself. So like, I just feel like you live every day like it's your last, right? And try to make the best of it. And that's kind of where we are. So we don't necessarily need our alone time, but if he wants to go, he can go. If I've got the girls at home, now with Cass having the baby took up a lot of my time last home time. He'll go out and putz around in the truck, and I'll stay in and help Cass with the baby and get my grandma snuggles in and, that kind of thing. But it just, we go with the flow, whatever happens, but typically we're together all the time.
For me, I like the nighttime. So a lot of times he'll go to bed when I get home, and nighttime is my private, quiet time to paint or just read a book. And so that's about the only alone time I really like, is in the middle of the night.
Yep. Justin's nocturnal also. So he's more of a night bird.
I never want to be away from Paul. Yeah.
Hey, Terry.
Yeah.
I'm gonna direct this comment to you, and I'll tell you why. Hold on. This is from Mona, and she said, I drove solo as well, and my ex drove local. The 1 year I stayed out 6 to 9 weeks and came home for a week, and it ended in divorce. It was hard to balance trucking and life. You have to have a spouse that understands your career. So the reason I'm directing it to you, Terry, is because your husband Paul, sometimes he goes out with you, but a lot of times, like right now, he stays home while you're on the road. Do you find it hard balancing the trucking life and your relationship at times?
I think, like Chris was just saying, Paul and I are very blessed in the sense that every hobby, every interest, every dislike, we seem to be identical. The biggest one of that is respect and trust. And I had a really, really crappy marriage where he cheated prior, and Paul had a crappy marriage where she got hooked on drugs. So we have both experienced the bad, and we cherish what we have.
Yes.
And, when it was, I think it was harder for me because I felt the guilt when I went back. Because when I met Paul was during that couple of years when I wasn't on the truck. And when I came back on the truck, of course he's like, I support whatever you want to do, honey. You need to be happy. But I had tremendous guilt over leaving. And this was before my mom got sick even. I'm very traditional in that I don't think my husband should do dishes, cook, clean house.
Same.
I should be the one to make the bed, to make sure he has clean underwear every morning and he doesn't wear the same socks 2 days, all that. And
wifely duties almost.
Right. And I really, I hope I don't upset anybody when I say this, but I'm so traditional in the sense that he is my boss, my leader in my home. He runs our household, and even though I don't have to ask him for stuff, it's still in my mind, I'm there to serve my husband.
Yes.
I felt really bad about leaving him to cook for himself and defend for himself. And it was because he is the man that he is, and the support that he gives me, and the love and the trust that made that possible. And it made for me to overcome that. And then when my mom got really, really sick, and we're talking very intimate care needed to be done, he stepped right up to the plate. And so I could continue working. So it was hard for me, just because of the guilt that I felt I wasn't there sexually as a wife, honestly. Like, I trust him completely. He'd cut his little wiener off before he'd touch somebody else. It's not a trust thing.
Right.
Right. You know what you just said? Your husband has a little wiener, right?
I call it my little wiener. Yes, I do. But, it's not that I worry that he's going to go dip it in somebody else's ocean. It's that I felt like
I love it.
I was not doing my wifely duties in a traditional, stop it, Angela. Stop it right now. Stop it. Cover your face. Stop it. Don't let me see that. That was just a big, let's be honest, that's a part of the marriage. And that you see in that, connection and that equal sexual connection, and We are very lucky that, number one, I don't give a rat's ass about sex so much anymore, so I'm old. So,
Kitty tail.
but you know, he made it. He made it. In all seriousness, it's made it possible for me emotionally to do this without
Yeah.
feeling that guilt and without his support. Like Mona had said, you know, she was on the road and he drove local. Even though mine doesn't drive, he works local.
Yeah.
It was scary at first. I was scared, like I'm really letting my husband down as a wife. But then his support made it okay for me in my heart, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It makes complete sense. Yeah. Yeah.
Lori, I got a question for you because we're getting ready to do the same thing that you're getting ready to do. So, Lori, you and James just sold your house. So, one of the things that you're going to have to do now is when you do have your downtime and you have to schedule your appointments, you guys are going to have to find a place to stay, find a place to like get the dogs groomed like you did this week. So, how do you think that's going to go now that you don't have like a home base?
It's going to be very difficult. Very difficult. I mean, we got lucky in Florida. We found some amazing places to go to, but it's not going to be like that everywhere we go. So, yeah, it's going to be difficult.
You come from North Dakota.
Having a long time, that's going to be hard too. That's when you're going to just slam the curtain. He comes up here, I go back there, and we're good to go.
Hey, that curtain slapping works, let me tell you.
I love it.
Right? Doing it.
Gotta do what you gotta do to keep your marriage together.
I envy you guys that run team. I don't know that I'd like it, but I wish Paul would drive so we could try.
I mean, like for Justin and I think, one of the things that we've mentioned before, like in some lives, and I know that his job when we first started driving teams, his job was a little bit leery because not a lot of couples, right? And I'm sure you can relate, Lori, potentially you guys as well, but a lot of companies really, really frown upon couples as teams. Some companies would prefer couples as teams, but generally speaking, right? They just, it ends bad. Okay. One of the things that Justin and you have to have a level of respect in the sense of work is work and play is play. You have got to be able to separate, your relationship and your career. And I'll tell you, this might be news to him as he's watching the race, but I almost feel like, I don't want to say our relationship has not changed at all. Nothing has changed as far as that, but I almost feel like there's something missing. Like when he used to come home, it would be like the butterflies, the excitement. It was like, like all that time was, so different than now. Now it's, he drives during the day, I sleep during the day. I get up at night, I drive at night, so right. And so there's some intimacy that's missing. And I say that very generally. I don't mean just in the way of, physicalities, but I mean in the way of conversation. And we don't struggle, but I feel like
you're always in work mode.
We're always in work mode, right, babe? Like, right. It's always work. Okay, you need to go to sleep. You need to go to sleep. It's just always, babe, I'll make sure you're up. It's constant switch off. It's constant switch off. And there's not very much room for us to date. That was one of the big things that Justin, when he would come home, that was, one of the things we would date. We would go out to dinner. We would go see a movie, or go to lunch or whatever. But there's no time now, when you're running 650 miles average a day. First of all, when I'm done driving, I don't want to go sit in a restaurant and talk to anyone. I want to go shut my eyes.
As a team, run 650 a day,
give or take. Yeah, like him and I. Wow. During this week, we each had a 700-mile day. He did a little over 700. I just did a 700-mile day Tuesday, I think. So, these are my people.
Yeah.
But yeah, for the most part, we're averaging between, he says 5 to 6. I don't. It depends on the day, and it's hard.
Per person, though, right? Not for the truck, for the whole day. You're talking per person.
Per person. Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, per person.
I was like, holy cow! If you're doing $650 a day together combined, I'm like,
oh no,
that job, because that would only make me $325 a day. Holy crap!
No, like the load that we just took was what, 250 miles, I think, between the two of us. I'm like, I'll get my reset in. You can drive. Like, it's stupid for us to split that up. But like, we pick up tomorrow in North Carolina and we're going to Ottawa, Kansas. That's a pretty decent drive. So
with your company, you guys, would they ever allow you like maybe every 2 to 3 weeks, like you had said, daytime? For at least with my company, when he would ride with me, I'd say, okay, we're heading down to, let's say, New Orleans. When we get there, don't put me on a load for 2 days or a day. Give me a day, and we go out and, go for a taxi, whatever. Or now, is your company a company that would work with you on that? Like once a month, even have a day somewhere just for you guys out of the truck and go on that day?
I am going to honestly say they frown upon that. Like, back when... Right. So, right. So when Justin was driving solo, he had to do his 34 hours, like every X amount of, otherwise he's running on recap hours. But with the two of us driving, there's like really never a need for a 34-hour reset just because the way our clocks are. So our time is home. So like last night, it was either last night or the night before, I can't remember, but we had told dispatch, listen, we haven't had a shower and I don't even want to tell you how long. We clean up on the truck and we have wash and water, and right, but we haven't had a shower. Like, I want to go stand under the shower, and she was like, well, she found us alone.
Interrupt for a minute? How you were saying about some companies and they don't want teams. There's also some companies that don't like riders.
Yeah, absolutely.
So there's times that if we have one of those loads, he's got to drop me off somewhere because they won't allow me on the premises.
Yep. What? The ports are like that. There are ports that I have to wait because I don't have my TWIC card. So I have to go sit on a bench somewhere and wait for him however long it takes, or he has to pay an escort fee. That's stupid.
Yeah.
But wow. But yeah, so I mean.
Now, Kathy, you ride with your hubby. Do you sleep when he sleeps, or do you get like your quiet time? Yeah, it is dumb, Cassandra. You're right.
Hello, daughter of mine.
Like, so how do you guys do that, Kathy? Like, do you guys sleep at the same time, or
Now, when he's done for his day and we get done eating supper, when he goes to bed, I go to bed. I don't stay up. During the day, I will doze off and I will, I've got my little pillow in the
your neck
pillow. My neck pillow, and I'm propped up against the window and I'm out. But when he goes to bed at nighttime, that's when I go to bed.
I always felt so bad for Paul because I get up with my restless leg syndrome, maybe 2 times a night, at least once an hour, sometimes more. And I always slept against the wall. He won't let me sleep on the edge for safety. He wants to be on the edge. So every time I get up, like every half hour, 45 minutes, and I'd have to get up and stand and move my legs around, he'd have to get up. So I always felt bad because his night was screwed up because mine was.
I'm against the wall.
We don't go to bed at the same time because he's got to be up a lot earlier. So I'll stay up and watch TV and listen to him snore and all that kind of stuff. And sooner or later, I fall asleep. But
and he will do the same as you, Lori. Sometimes I'd go to bed and put my earplugs in, and he'd, turn the passenger seat around and he'd watch a movie or something while I'd try to sleep.
All right, so I'm going to go around the room and I'm going to start with Sheila. All right, Sheila, here's the question. When your husband is home for home time, What is the one thing you look forward to the most? Is there like some place special you like to go or something special you guys like to do?
When he was driving, when he would come home, it would be, especially when the pandemic was going on, he'd come home and I'd be like, I'm tired of looking at these four walls. Let's go for a bike ride.
Oh,
On the
that's a good
motorcycle,
idea.
we go. I
Motorcycle
didn't
or
care if it
bicycle?
was just a short one or whatever, wherever we went, I just get me out of the house. I'm going stir crazy.
That's a great idea. It's a motorcycle, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, the Harley. Yeah. All right, Terry, what about you? When you have home time with Paul, what is the one thing you look forward to the most? What's the one thing you guys love to do?
Is it after 8:00?
Yes.
Yes. I love her.
I mean, you're gonna laugh. Don't you laugh at me. I can have
Be laughing.
Never at you, only with you. There's a difference.
all right. Pizza. That's actually besides Paul and my dog Monkey, I get to make homemade pizza. I love
Nice.
I'm a pizza addict.
Yeah.
So I love to cook and bake and my acrylic painting. That's all I do when I'm home. And the housework.
Yeah, I miss baking. I love baking when we're home.
It's mostly, honestly, just, it's not even like I joke about the sex thing. It's not even, it's to feel Paul's arms around me. I put his arms around me, like fall asleep with his arms around me. I don't care. Now that he's off the drug and it's been several months, I just miss feeling his arms around me. And then my
I understand.
my other little dog. Those are the two big things, is Monkey and Paul's dogs. Those are the two big things. I want to feel those arms.
All right, Kathy, I'm going to go to you next. I know that you've been out with your husband on the road, but when you used to be home and he'd come home, what was the one thing that you guys loved to do the most? Did you guys have like something you absolutely wanted to do?
Yeah, so we were just talking about that today. It's been since December since we've gone. But there's a place in Alabama that has a drive-in movie. And we would go on a Saturday night and they have a double feature, and it only costs us like $15 to get in, and we get to see both of the movies. Either you see one movie or if we were in the mood to watch the second movie, we do. But it was go to the drive-in movie theater, and we haven't been since December.
Nice. Fun.
That would be fun. We got one in our town too, and I don't think Larry and I have ever been to. I've been with it with my kids, but I don't think I've ever taken Larry. All right, Lori, what is you and James's favorite thing to do when you guys have time off?
Before he was with him or after?
Now, what's your guys' favorite thing? What's the one thing you guys like to do now?
We try to at least schedule once a week some kind of date night. Because, like he said, he's always in work mode.
Yeah.
So even when we're getting ready to go to bed at night, he's still got his blinders on. So if we can, when we do our 34 or something, usually we try to fit that date night in there.
I think that's the one thing we talk about the most when we're talking on the phone is how our husbands are always in work mode. It's like, how the hell do you get them out of work mode?
I think there's a way to get him out of work mode.
I know. I get that bad too sometimes.
I struggle when I'm home. My mind is still on the truck.
Yes.
Next trip.
A wife that's done both. I kind of want to put this out there. Before, when he first started trucking, I never understood the whole trucking industry thing. I didn't understand why are you tired after a 10-hour shift? You've only sat on your hands all day.
Oh, yeah.
Now,
and Lori, that's a good point. That's a good point, Lori. Because until Paul rode with me, he was always respectful, but he didn't understand that the mental exhaustion that you go through driving, and having to swerve because somebody just come off the shoulder in front of you. It's just the mental that you had to do.
I'm guilty. I didn't understand it until I got out here too, and now I'm like, oh God, you need to go to bed. You're done.
Yeah, and he didn't understand. Like, why do you have a sign that says "idiot"? Why do you hold that up at people? It's like,
Good, right?
and then he comes out and he's like, "I'm surprised you don't hold it up 180 times an hour." You know,
I always say if you're a trucker's wife or girlfriend or spouse or whatever, if you get an opportunity that you can go out with your husband, boyfriend, whatever,
Yeah.
please do that, because then you will truly understand what trucking is like. It's hard for you to know, because I used to be a stay-at-home trucking wife too, and I didn't understand it until I became a truck driver. So it's a whole new world, and you can understand and appreciate what they go through if you could come out there. Now, Chris, what is the one thing that you and Justin look forward to the most when you guys go home? I know right now it's going to be the grandbaby.
Oh,
but
I
before
can't
that,
wait to snuggle him. I can't
he's
wait.
so cute.
Cassie Lynn, speaking of, you're still on here. You better call me. I haven't gotten my video chat today. She calls me usually every day, just even if he's sleeping, just so I can talk to him. And
how old is he now?
he, gosh, he's what? I think he'll be 3 weeks or a month. And he was born the 19th of March, so however many weeks ago that was. I believe 3.
Just under 3 weeks
today, or 3 weeks today, something like that. But he's such a sweetie. But one of the things that Justin and I really look forward to doing is not one thing in particular. We build memories when we're home. We look for ways to date. You know, like, he's the type that if it's raining, he'll drag me out of bed just to bring me downstairs in the rain and kiss me. Just little, like spontaneous, impromptu, always, and that's what keeps us alive. We can't do it on the road, so we do it at home. Could be anything, could be just taking a drive, or, it's really just spending time together that's not work related. I hear you.
Well, I see your puppy knows you're missing your grandbaby snuggle, so he's trying to make up for it.
Yeah.
Oh, she is something else. And let me tell you. Yes, I know. I know.
Chris, this is to you from Cassandra. She said, when my mom and Justin come home, my favorite thing is that all the chores I get a break from and getting to relax a little more.
Yep, because I take over. Yep, she doesn't have to lift the finger, and neither one of them really. I take over mom mode, and I take care of the house, so Cass doesn't have to.
Just get Lewis, just type it out.
Yep, just type your comment. We'll see it.
Yeah, just type your comment, Lewis. I'll be able to put it up there.
God, she's so snuggly.
Kathy said 3 weeks and 10 pounds now.
He is 3 weeks today. That's what I thought. Yeah, he gained like 2 pounds in like 4 days. She's like, I'm overfeeding him. I was like, no, he's healthy. He's healthy. Like, you want him to gain weight. I don't want to overfeed him. I said, Cassie Lynn, he's a baby. Just feed him.
Now, when you guys, Angela, you had said you were a stay-at-home trucker wife, and Lori, you were at home. Kathy, I know you were. And I'm not sure about Chris, but when you guys were home and your husbands would come on the road, okay. Did you guys do, like, have any little things you did for your spouse that were special, like breakfast in bed, or try to make him welcome home?
Yeah, usually he'd tend to get home like late at night. They never fail, like 10, 1 o'clock in the morning. So I'd usually get myself all dolled up and then have dinner wait for him. That was my thing.
When James would come home, when I was home, I would get all dolled up and I'd wait for him at the door, all that. But then he would leave little notes throughout the house the day before he would leave, so I'd have to go hunt and peck and find them all. I miss that. I so miss that.
See, the reason that I asked is because Paul is very much like that for me. He comes running out, because I bobtailed right to the house. He comes running out and he'll jump up in the truck and he'll tackle me and give me hugs. And then, like, tomorrow, I guarantee I'll have breakfast in bed. So it's amazing how the little things that our spouse can do for us or we can do for our spouses make a difference.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yep.
I mean, for me, it was just giving him his time and not making it so he doesn't have to lift a finger. All his meals are cooked, his clothes are washed and folded and ready to go. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, whatever, cooked, just anything so that he didn't have to lift a finger. And he'd always say, "I feel so bad. You don't have to do anything, or you don't have to do everything, but I'm your partner, and you're out there. It is my job to take care of you. So I'm kind of with you, Terry, on that. Like, I'm a bit old-fashioned in the sense that he shouldn't have to."
And when I get home, I want to like do all the cooking and the cleaning and the laundry. And he's like, go sit down. Go, you've been on the road for a month. Go sit down, relax, kick your feet up, play with the dogs. I'm like, no, I got chores to do. Just because bless his heart, love this man, but he's not going to scrub a toilet as good as I would or mop the floor. You know what I mean? So, so it's, but it's cleaning house and cooking and taking care of him. So I think it's cool that you guys do that because, even though Paul's like that, I still try to make it so he doesn't have to work, and he's trying to make it so I don't have to work, and
yeah, it's a nice little mix. Especially that mutual understanding. It's a nice little mix. I feel like it makes the other feel so much more appreciated.
Ooh.
Ew.
Kathy, when Angela, you heard me. What do you guys look forward to at home?
Usually our biggest thing is Larry likes to go out to do all you can eat crab legs. That's like our thing. Every time we go home, we try to go to our favorite place.
That sounds good. I love crab legs.
Yeah.
How about you, Kathy?
Well, like I said before, we came out on the road. We would go to the movies. Now,
that's right. I'm sorry, I forgot. Yeah.
Now it's like when we go home. I want to drive my pickup truck, and to me, it feels like I feel like I'm shrunk in it.
Oh yeah, I go from a semi to a smart car. No joke. I feel like if I run over a popcorn, it's going to leave an inch in my butt. I feel like I'm on the floor.
It never fails. I want to drive, but he grabs the keys and gets in it, and he starts driving. I'm like, well, I would have drove if you gave me a chance to grab the keys.
I don't drive either. I fight if I want to drive.
But the whole time we're home, he still drives, and it's like, I know how to drive. Let me drive.
How about you, Miss Sheila? To Angela's question.
It's one of those. It's like he comes home and it's like, I'm tired of looking at the same four walls. We're going for a bike ride, or we're going.
See, I forgot that too. Sorry, that's the brain tumor. I forgot you did say the bike ride.
Yeah, but it's mostly the bike ride because he doesn't get to ride it. He didn't get to ride it that much when he was driving truck over the road.
Sorry about my memory, guys.
Oh, you're fine.
Don't worry
right,
about
guys. I have to cut the show a little early because I have to actually get driving. I still got a couple more hours I have to do. And FedEx is on the phone wanting me to get on the road. So.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Where are you? What are you doing? Why aren't you moving? You have a delivery to make. I know. I wasn't born yesterday. I'm watching my clock.
I hate babysitting companies. Companies that babysit, I hate it.
Oh,
absolutely.
Management. You got to love it.
Yeah.
And if it's not dispatch, it's the broker. Where are you? Are you going to make it on time? It's like I have a day and a half to go 600 miles and there's two of us. Yes, we have plenty of time.
Yeah.
And I want to thank all the listeners too for putting up with the time change. They did that for me so I could join. So I apologize for the difference in time, guys. Thank you, everybody.
Well, it's really awesome to have you, Sheila and Kathy and all of us. I think definitely a great little show. It was nice to have the six of us together.
Yeah,
it was. Don't forget to catch the show on Wednesday at 12 o'clock Central. And then we'll be back here again next Saturday at 7 o'clock.
Absolutely.
Have a good
Thank
week,
you.
everybody. Be safe and you drive careful tonight.
Thank
Yes,
you.
and drive carefully.
Bye,
Take
everybody.
care. Bye, everyone.